Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Skew and Artosis. It's part of the World Cyber Games. It's the qualifiers, and explain that a little bit. Last year, the top 4 qualifiers for the United States for the World Cyber Games were Nyokin, In Control, who actually went and represented, then Skew and Artosis, and this is kind of a mini tournament to seed the players for the next upcoming tournament to see who qualifies. And this is actually the final match between Skew and Artosis, and Skew is going to go by fighterreplays.com. Yeah, fighterreplays.com, check it out. Nice APM charts, things like that. And it's a nice website. It's got good rating system. Upload replays to get some comments on them, and you can find some really top-notch replays there of guys like Hydra, who's actually the third part of the Terran Triad. The first 2 parts, of course, are Skew and Artosis, the top 3 Terran players in the United States, all part of Team Media. Hydra actually went to Korea to be a foreign professional Starcraft player, so that shows you the quality of these players. And also check out esportstv.net. Special thanks to them for getting me these replays. And my guess is if you're listening to this, you're already there. So yeah, special thanks, and just keep spamming this site. I say just hit refresh, 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 get their hit rates as far up as possible. Anyway, Skew and Artosis, both really solid players. I think Artosis is known more for his genius game sense, I would say, and also being an announcer for Ascension. Skew is known for, as far as the Triad, he's known for being not only a solid player, but also being very ballsy. In prior matches, he's been known for going at the 14 Command Center. He actually ended up losing a pretty harsh game to Zelos in the World Cyber Games, I think 2006, where he basically, Zelos who's another professional Korean StarCraft player, went a double barracks build and actually beat him in the 14cc. But he talks about how going that early command center to get that early economy push, even though it's risky, it's like cocaine for him. He loves that build. Looks like Artosis on the opposite side, already getting that refinery down, getting that barracks down, so it's going to go a pretty standard build. Skew scouting that 12 o'clock location, and lo and behold, yeah, Skew's going to go for a 14 command center. He's going to build a command center on 14 supply. He hasn't put down that refinery, so yeah, now that command center going down, and yeah, he's going to take a big economic lead. But he's got to hold out, because Artosis, in the meantime, as soon as he spots this with this SCV, which is now checking the 6 o'clock location, it's going to come across and check Skew's base here in just a moment. What's pretty typical for Terran players is to go a 2-factory build and just start pumping units and to be really aggressive against the command center before the economy can really pick up for your Terran opponent. We'll see what Artosis decides to do. I'm just going to assume at this point that that is what he's in fact going to do. Artosis is capable of other things, but honestly, he's pretty good by the book, so I don't see why he wouldn't do that. Barracks going down up front, and yeah, that SCV is going to scoot in and see that early command center going down. Let's see how Artosis reacts. He's already got that first factory going down. Going to wait to see that second factory in just a second. Already lifting off the barracks after producing that initial marine, and that barracks already going to float out there to support tanks, I'm going to assume, with siege mode along the side. And Artosis getting that front door blockade, which is actually going to help him out. And the Skew, that scout denied, he's going to have to bring that SCV back. So at least some degree of an advantage. Artosis still has that SCV scout in the back of Skew's base. And now, yeah, Skew's got that command center up. He's going to start meandering those SCVs over to get some SCV saturation here at his secondary. Keep that economy going, producing a couple Marines. Now the question is, can Skew survive against this 2-factory push? Will he be able to kind of ride the whirlwind? And I don't actually see a second factory. Here we got a Vulture being produced, and we're seeing a dual starport build from Artosis. This is really creative. I like this build from Artosis. Basically, Skew's going to have a long time before he can really get up any sort of anti-air. That scout finally being killed of Artosis in his base. He's got this bunker going up, and he's going to have 4 Marines inside that bunker. But aside from that, that is going to be the total of his air defense. I don't see any engineering bay going down. I don't see any armory going down. Factories initially can produce vultures, and when you get a machine shop down, they can produce tanks. But until you get an armory down, you're not going to be able to produce Goliaths to attack wraiths at the front or above in the air. Looks like the vulture pushing up, getting a little bit of damage there. Looks like they were able to... No, actually, sorry, a Marine going in. Doesn't look like they took out a Marine there. But Artosis going to the front door, reminding Skew that, hey, I've got some factories, or at least trying to pose that way. Looks like 1 Marine getting taken out, but that Vulture also getting taken out, so that's actually a slight victory for Skew. Skew lifting off that barracks as well. I'm not quite sure what that was about, maybe to give a false impression to Artosis. Now he's getting that machine shop down. And now we'll see, because, yeah, Artosis producing an additional Vulture, maybe to kill that SCV scout from Skew. Skew to have a little bit of additional information. I think right at this point is when Skew's got to be kind of puzzling. This is usually when you'll see units gathering up outside and start pushing up on you, and you'll at least get some sort of semblance or indication. He has not seen that yet. Now that barracks starting to float into his secondary, he's got that armory down, and I think that's with that timing, what he is kind of suspicious here, maybe wondering if Artosis has done something, and that SCV actually going to be able to sneak by that Marine, going to be able to shift in. This is going to confirm his suspicions, I believe. Artosis very quickly getting those Wraith out of the way. We're going to see that there's no 2 factories, and now it's up to Artosis to do as much damage as possible. He's got, again, that second Vulture up front, but that Vulture is going to get very quickly taken out by those 4 Marines in that single tank. And now, as you can see, the 2 Vultures pushing up additionally, so let's see if Skew can hold this off. He's already got that armory going down, and Artosis landing that barracks inside Skew's base, going to produce some Marines to assist in this attack. Artosis is just going to try to slow Skew down as much as possible. Skew, he's already got SCVs to replace to get that armory up so he can produce the Goliath here at the factory. He's also bringing some Marines up alongside, and now, he's just gonna getting cloaking. Nice timing on the cloaking, killing some Marines, producing additional Marines. These Marines aren't going to last very long once the tanks come into play, but the rest of these Marines gonna get taken out, and all Artosis has to do is inflict as much damage as possible to try to equalize the game at this point versus Skew. Basically, make sure that Skew doesn't run away with it, that he can just slow him down, hit this SCV that's building supply depot, hurting Skew's supply a little bit, get this SCV building in the factory, stop additional factories from being produced. Looks like this barracks might go down. That might slow Artosis down a little bit, and Artosis continuing to produce the Wraith. Let's see what he's up to in the meantime. Also getting a machine shop down, also getting a command center down, so it looks like he's expanding. Looks like the academy is already up, so he's going to be able to get that command center. These Wraiths are cloaked, so it doesn't make a difference if he can attack with that Goliath. If he cannot, in fact, see the Wraith to attack, as you can see, that one Wraith looks like it ran out of energy, so it's going to come back to home base. But in the meantime, the barracks is going to go down. This might be a problem for Artosis, because Artosis is not going to be able to put down additional factories, and so Skew is going to get an opportunity here to push into Artosis, basically kind of and it looks like another Wraith being pushed out, and this has actually been fairly successful comsat, but Skew's just going to be able to, or I'm sorry, Artosis is just going to be able to skirt out of that. Now it looks like double upgrades going, Charon booster going alongside, and Artosis continuing with that attack, but Skew in the meantime, he's going to be able to get basically 3 factories up. Artosis still only has a single factory. Looks like he's upgrading Siege. Looks like he's expanding with the command center to the 6 o'clock. He's going to basically grab his natural expansion, and he's going to have to defend his base with not a lot of troops. He can only produce so many troops out of a single factory versus the 3 factories for Skew, so he's going to be hard pressed to really hold this. Still attacking those SCVs in the back, now in the secondary of Artosis, so doing a lot of damage. Looks like 6 kills there. You can assume that's mostly SCVs, and now as you can see, Skew pushing up, so Artosis is going to have a little bit of trouble fighting this off. He's got 2 Wraith in his base. Looks like a 3rd Wraith coming back. 4 Wraiths coming back, landing in secondary. In the meantime, building another command center to the 6 o'clock location. It looks like he'll probably float that to the upper right-hand corner. There's an island expansion over there. Hasn't got his barracks up. I guess he's deciding to spend the resources while he has it. Surprised he isn't saving that for some additional vultures or something to try to fight this off. He's going to be hard-pressed to fight this off. Getting the tank down underneath. A single hit there on that SCV by that siege tank. And now the Wraith, that was nice timing by the Wraith going in, cloaking. Comsat already there to kill those Wraith there. And now, woof, yeah, Artosis is in a bit of trouble here. 2 tanks down. He's only got a single tank on the ridge. Bringing SCVs off the line. Going to be able to mix them up with the Goliaths, and I think that's going to save Artosis right there. So that tank going to go down to a brutal SCV attack. That was, wow. Excellent micromanagement on Artosis' part to survive there. He only had 1 tank versus, what was that, 4 Goliaths and a single tank otherwise, and just barely holding on there. Ended up losing, and the reinforcements basically stopped at this point. Skew in the meantime expanding the upper left-hand corner, but Artosis is going to get the drop on him. He's already got his command center up, and he's going to be able to float that in the upper right-hand corner and get it in. It looks like he's got some SCVs and dropships alongside as well. You got to drop them to get the little mineral field out of the way before you can really put that down. So Artosis weathers this. He's going to be able to get the addition. He's already got that barracks up now, putting down additional factories, and that was some excellent micromanagement on Artosis' part. Whew. Brutal, fast, and furious. Hope you guys are enjoying this, because this is top-notch StarCraft play. Skew in the meantime looks like he's getting some additional supply depots down. He's still got those 3 factories out. Basically didn't put down some additional factories so he could get this expansion in the upper left-hand corner. And I think, and I'm not sure what this is about, I guess just worrying about, I don't think this would stop much if Artosis did decide to press an attack. Maybe just trying to stop scouts that are going to the upper left-hand corner. The turret out, and because he knows that Artosis has these 2 starports, as soon as he puts down that second second control tower, he's going to be able to just pump those dropships. He's also getting an academy of his own down here. He's going to be able to pump dropships, and he's going to have a big mobility advantage at that point. Looks like 2 Wraith going to the 12 o'clock location. I think Artosis comsatted this upper left-hand base, so he's going to do some additional harassment here. And already getting that 3rd gas down, and gas can be the lifeblood of Terran. Skew, in the meantime, pushing out in the middle of the field. He might decide to press an attack. That would be somewhat unadvised. As you can see, Artosis already has several tanks up alongside, getting his engineering bag down as well to put some turrets. So Skew getting, oh wow, catching an SCV before it can produce a turret there. Looks like Skew is stopping short, building and having to send the Goliath back to deal with these Wraith. And these Wraith, wow, Artosis being very effective with his harassment with these Wraiths, getting more kills. He's already taken out 2 SCVs, might get a 3rd, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a 3rd, but halting production, very importantly halting production here at this upper left-hand corner, especially that gas. Gas at this point in the game is so important because basically all the Terran units just require a ton of gas. And yeah, some 2 Goliaths pushing up, but Artosis being persistent with this harass. I'm not sure what this front door is about by Skew. I don't think that's going to be extremely effective for him, simply because dropship's just going to be able to move right around it. Already 1 dropship out in the field that was produced earlier. Artosis, in the meantime, macroing up. Looks like these 1 Wraith is already down, probably got comp-sighted and caught by those Goliaths, and now the 2nd Wraith is pulling back. And Skew actually going to the 12 o'clock location. He might be thinking about expanding again. That would be, wow, a very aggressive expansion behavior. Artosis actually has got an SCV at the 6 o'clock location as well. I actually think this is more of a scouting SCV, just to make sure that Artosis wasn't pulling anything. Actually, no, I take it back. It looks like he's going to put some turrets out in the field, knowing that Artosis, let's see, he doesn't look like he has that 2nd control tower down. He is producing additional dropships, however, and it looks like he's thinking about loading them up. He's got that armory down, getting Char and booster upgrades, so he might go dropship hunting, basically put Goliaths in dropships, put them into Skew's base, and try to kill Skew's SCVs, so he has to stick to the ground. Comsat there around, both players comsatting around just to making sure that no additional expansions have been put down. Skew putting some turrets just kind of out in the field willy-nilly, I think, and that's just to one, get some spotting, harass those dropships additionally. Looks like he's got 5 factories producing. He's got his starpoter of his own, already upgrading weapons 1, so at least have the weapons upgrade advantage, and ferrying a couple more SCVs, it looks like, to the north. He's finally getting that 3rd gas down, and I think that that's the difference in the game at this point. I think Artosis has taken a lead economically, actually, and Skew putting some more turrets down, as you can see, trying to get some sort of a contain, and another missile turret going down to the 6 o'clock location, 2nd SCV coming out alongside, and we'll see, it looks like barracks was floating and the Goliaths were trying to attack him. It looks like they took an initial siege hit. The SCV attacking that turret to the south. Clever by Artosis. Now we're seeing Artosis load up those dropships, and it looks like we got 4 Goliaths and 4 tanks, so this is actually going to be a pretty sizable drop here with these 3, and I worry about Skew in this upper left-hand corner. He's got a long distance to go, and Skew actually expanding the 12 o'clock location as well, and this entire upper left-hand portion of the map is extremely exposed for Skew with these dropships that it looks like Artosis is just pumping now. He's got 2 more coming alongside. He's going to have a big mobility advantage. He can keep a couple units at home and just force Skew to go into him, but with these dropships, just drop all over Skew's bases, and Skew just, if he can hold this, he'll end up with a big economic advantage, but I'm not sure that he's going to be able to against this against this attack that's incoming. Fortunately, he is going to have some degree of an indication because these turrets out in the field, so this turret is going to, it's not going to take down a dropship, but it is going to give Skew a little bit of sight here. We'll see if Artosis decides to hold up, actually, right at this edge. As you can see a little bit here, see that fog of war. When you get up on this map edge, you get a fog of war, and you end up with a even cliffside going from the bottom position to the upper position. There's a 1/3 miss chance, basically. So Artosis taking the high ground, Skew bringing SCVs off the line to assist to take this attack out, and so it looks like this attack will be thwarted. Skew not losing it. That was nice on Skew's part. Very nice defense there, going into an uphill battle there, quite literally an uphill battle, and not really losing much there. Didn't end up, and Skew actually getting an eyeful there at the 12 o'clock location with his dropships, and taking some additional damage by that turret. Not going to bother him too much. He's got to think about expanding, and Skew expanding again to the 6 o'clock location. He's being ridiculously aggressive with his expansions, just going to try to get a brutal economy. Artosis needs to get something done. Looks like he's got the level 1's upgrade on the way as well. If he can just produce a ton of units here and push into Skew, I don't know that Skew's really going to have enough before his economy sets in, because basically he's got 800 minerals out in the field that aren't being used. He is going to drop that 12 o'clock location. We'll see if he's just going to claim this 12 o'clock location for his own, but I assume having spot out the natural expansion right here that he's going to push up on that. Yeah, it looks like he's going to set up cliffside. And Skew has some units in, it looks like in position to try to deal with this, but honestly, again, going uphill, not a good advantage. And here the Fog of War actually goes up all the way along the cliffside, and this is a really bad spot for Skew. Looks like, I'm surprised he hasn't lifted up this command center, actually tried to use it to spot alongside. Looks like he has some dropships to try to deal with this along the side, so he's going to rely on dropships to try to squelch this attack. We'll see how successful he is with that. In the meantime, but Artosis, still he's got another expansion to the 6 o'clock location, and now, yeah, he's going to dump all over this, so he is going to be able to pretty much pin his attack back. Lost a dropship there. Nice targeting there on Artosis' part. So Artosis still maintaining that drop advantage. In the meantime, Skew moving, it looks like he's transferring some troops to the 6 o'clock location. Looks like he's got a Goliath posted at the true 6 o'clock location. I should actually say that's more the 5 o'clock location. Now, basically, yeah, this is cleaned up. I mean, Skew has saved this. He should be able to get another SCV out to repair this, but no, I take it back. More dropships headed in to reinforce Artosis' position on the ridge, and he's going to be able to drop all over these tanks before this turret gets up, and yeah, that's cleaned up, so it looks like Skew is going to lose this 12 o'clock base. Ouch. It's a lot of Goliaths and a lot of tanks. That poor SCV, he didn't stand a chance. I like that little extra explosion with the minerals. I just think it's a nice touch. Anyway, and it looks like Artosis is just going to set up here so he can get some expansions of his own. Let's see if he, yeah, he is in fact building a command center to the upper right hand corner just so he can lift it off and float it into that the main of the 12 o'clock location, or I guess approximately the 1 o'clock base. Skew in the meantime though, he's already set up to expand the inside 6 o'clock, I should say the 6 o'clock main here. He's already got the 5 o'clock. It doesn't look like he's put down that gas yet. Got a couple turrets there to deal with it, somewhat of an attack. Honestly, I don't think that would stop 5 science vessels though. In the meantime, he's unsieged the tanks here. It looks like he's kind of up to something. Yeah, he's unsieged the tanks here. He's got some dropships coming up alongside, so it looks like he's going to do a dual-pronged drop here, dropping tanks up above and also sieging tanks down below for support. And so, wow, actually, Artosis using the the dropships defensively and counter-dropping all over it, but the counter-dropping troops getting hit by these siege tanks down below. This is a very nice position for Skew. As soon as these factories produce units, they're gonna be smacked down by siege. As you can see, yeah, that tank absolutely exploded. Not even fair. A couple more siege tanks coming in down below, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Still 2 tanks at that location. Skew, in the meantime, bringing his barracks up to spot. Otherwise, usually he wouldn't be able to see this. We've got the map reveal on, so obviously we can. And nothing in these dropships. I thought Artosis might be going for a drop. I was kind of like just about to say with what units though. So Skew in a very commanding position. He's in a very nice economic position. He's got that 6 o'clock location, basically both bases here. Looks like he's expanding once again, and he's going to have a lot of gas, and that's going to be very dangerous. Looks like that Goliath going to try to do as much damage to that barracks as possible to try to drive it back. So Skew actually, yeah, looking very good. It's a single tank pushing out, and more dropship reinforcements coming up. Wow, Skew being very aggressive, and now Artosis is unloading, and it looks like he's going to force Skew to basically pull back with that attack. He's trying to attack that upper left-hand corner, only has a couple troops here in the meantime. What this is going to do is that little pithy attack. First of all, that's giving a warning to Skew. I think Skew did comsat this off ahead of time, and he's only got, wow, a single tank and 3 Goliaths to deal with this to the north, and honestly, he doesn't have the weapons upgrade to really deal with it. Bring back his troops that were going in for another drop on Artosis' main, and a lot of tanks alongside there, but honestly, I think Artosis, with some micromanagement, still might be able to push this through, losing the Goliaths, using the Goliaths to shield against that initial hit so we can siege these tanks in the background, and taking up a little bit cliffside. But honestly, I think now Skew can bring up some more troops in the meantime to kind of clean this up. It doesn't look like he's even going to bother. He's actually pretty safely clean this up. He's going to bring some SCVs down. I don't think that's necessary, actually. The SCVs just screening those siege tank hits so they can get in position, siege once again, and clear the rest of that up. Artosis, in the meantime, is expanded to the 12 o'clock location. Looks like he got pretty damaged from that turret. I'm not sure if Skew ended up spotting that out. Skew has just got a monstrous economy. Let's check. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's got a lot of factories down. He's only got 6 factories, and usually at this point you want to have a lot more factories than this. Looks like he's also not doing well. Let's check the supply counts. Actually, he's absolutely kicking butt as far as supply goes, but still, he doesn't have as many factories down as I would expect, considering how many bases he has. Looks like Skew is now pushing up for another attack, and Artosis, actually, he's going to attack the 6 o'clock location, going to be very aggressive. Let's see, Skew had another dropship attack. It looks like it was headed to Artosis' natural, but Artosis is going to be the aggressor here, and kind of try to equalize things here. This expansion is definitely going to go down. I don't think Skew can really, even with the units in his dropship, can really fight that off. We'll see what he does. He has some units here in the middle of the map. Again, those dropships full of units. And wow, nice job on Artosis, bringing those siege tanks alongside to catch those SCVs as they were escaping. Good micromanagement there, really heads-up play. Now it looks like Skew is going to go to the 12 o'clock location and try to stop Artosis from and doing another drop in the main of Artosis. And wow, Artosis has only had 4 factories the entire time. Not being very successful with that drop, actually. A lot of units, that was kind of sloppy, getting killed alongside. I guess he wasn't really focused on that and was more worried about the 2-prong attack here. It looks like he is going to be able to take that 12 o'clock location, but in the meantime, Artosis is loading up those dropships once again, and he's going to be able to take out the 6 o'clock natural. And yeah, SCV's fleeing, as you can see, and Skew actually expanding again to the 12 o'clock location. And another big drop. It looks like it's going to head for Skew's main, and even though it looks like that drop has been finished off in Artosis' main, so dropships going off everywhere, and this might be it. Skew, this is, wow, all over Skew's supply. All these supply depots going to go down, and honestly, I don't think Skew's really going to be able to recover from this. We'll see. Yeah, he's just going to GG right there, knowing that Artosis just caught him off guard. Beautiful match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was just absolutely epic. But to kind of give you a rundown, basically Artosis at this position, because it was in such a awkward position, Skew really wouldn't been able to ferry troops, especially with those Goliaths unloaded. All these supply depots would have gone down, and then Skew wouldn't have been able to produce the units that were needed to really fend off the rest of the attack. But yeah, great match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. This is Diggy from sc2gg.com. Once again, special thanks to esportstv.net, or I'm sorry, esportstv.com, and also check out fighterreplays.com, Skew's home website.